Same applied to the revolution even. 30% wanted to leave the crown, 30% were passive, and 30% were loyalists. And the same applies to every circumstance. That we talked about earlier, like feeling that we deserve better sciences and, how stupid do they actually think we are, etc. They don't have to convince everybody. They pretty much just have to convince like 51% of the population, and they already have the power and devices in their control. And so they don't care that we know that they're full of shit because we're not their target audience in the first place. And probably nobody else that was, if you were paying attention to what I really was just reading, what I put up in the jumbo time actually is true. I read the book Green Eggs and Ham to my son like at least 1,000 times. And he's an incredibly persistent. You would never take no for an answer, but it kind of occurred to me. Sam I Am was the greatest salesman in history. He would not take no for an answer. Like that's really the takeaway from Green Eggs and Ham. I think Dr. Seuss was a genius, and it doesn't surprise me. What you're reading right now, though we didn't know it, it's pretty fascinating, but it's really not surprising when you consider what you're referring to right now, in terms of basically how he adopted art and things that were easily digestible, and ways to understand them in even silly ways, but nonetheless, way more effective than reading a field manual that they could get him to read.
Yeah, here's the next section. It's called the chemistry. This is the last one I'll read, but it's an interesting article here. It says by 2006, DARPA shifted its focus from psychology to biology. They realized persuading humans with logic is inefficient compared to overriding survival instincts at the chemical level. They mapped neurochemistry and created mathematical formulas to track how ideas spread through populations, monitoring dopamine responses like drug tolerance. In 2011, they named the resulting victim the memeoid, spelled memeoid, like memeoid, M-E-M-E-O-I-D. Training slides describe the memeoid as a person whose behavior is so strongly influenced by the narrative that their own survival becomes inconsequential. What we once called a fanatic, DARPA classified as a successful product. Suicide bombers, people going down the rabbit holes, those destroying relationships for political tribalism, and rage typers doom scrolling at 2 a.m. are all memeoids. They are chemically dependent on the narrative. I would agree. I'm actually interested in what this whole memeoid thing is about, but yeah, it's true. Like, imagine like every second this platform is just generating signals. It's not just about the letters and the likes and the posts and pictures and whatever, all that stuff. It's all about the activity of the interaction of it. Like you can have the exact same post go super viral and do absolutely nothing. First, it depends on who posted it, and it depends on when you post it. All right, like the same stuff. Like we've been making fun of it, just calling it slop. I mean, and it is slop. Right, but I posted this thing about like Charlie Kirk's hands being smaller in the casket than Erica's. Like post takes off, like hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, for my account's not that big, right? But like post takes off. You do the same thing, right? Or I don't know, obviously because it's a casket, but you guys get the idea. But like at a point in time when that's not in the zeitgeist, it does nothing, And so anyway, the point is like this whole like we're being monitored. People think it's just them like stealing data off your phone, but no, a lot of it is actually coming from what you're contributing, to the equation here, to X, to social media, YouTube's, all of that, and the impact that causes. It is addictive, and they figured that out. Why do people want to become like YouTubers and want to have these big accounts? I mean, it's probably the most thankless, terrible job ever. Now they're all complaining that they're getting death threats and all of that. Yeah, if you put yourself in front of like 2 million people, there's going to be some nutter in the crowd that's going to say terrible things to you. Like, yeah, of course. Well, like, what is this quest to be seen? It's because it's addictive. It's like, once you like...
Am I the modern day Orson Welles?
And then you get that like million, 2 million, 3 million, right? Like people get addicted to that, and that's really what we're feeding into. And then we wonder why truth has gone by the wayside.